Well, g'day everyone, how's it going? Coming at you from the studio, and can you notice a difference here in the set? Does it look any different? Because I can tell you it is very different. I'm lighting this with one little gem of a light called the Aputure MC. And in this video, I'm going to take you through the features of this little beauty, so stay tuned. The Aputure MC, and I have one right here sent to me from the team at Aputure. Shout out to Justin for sending this through. This is not sponsored, but I didn't pay for this. Aputure have sent it to me to review, and I've actually had it for probably over a month, couple of months even, because one of the stipulations with Aputure was that I wanted to make sure I could test this and use it in a real case scenario. And it was a little bit tricky toward the end of last year to do that due to COVID, but eventually I was able to get on a shoot where I used it, and yeah, it's incredible. But I did want to take you through some of the cool features, and I will show you what it's capable of as well. So I'm actually open up right now in the Sidus Link app, and let me just screen record for you so you can see what I'm doing. This is a pretty cool feature that it has, and I'll just show you straight away. So it's a police car or cop car light feature. You know, if you're doing a video like, sorry officer, it wasn't me, I didn't do it. Like if you're speeding or something like that, you want to do a cool thing. So I thought it was pretty cool. You've also got this one, which is like sitting by a fire, and you know, just having it just sort of rotate through different colors and flicker as if you were sitting watching a fire, and it just kind of flickers back and forth. You can lower the intensity, you can change the frequency, so put in some sound effects, crackling, having some marshmallows on the fire. You've also got a few other options here, like this one, the faulty bulb option. Whoa, frequency is really high, so you can slow that down as well. There we go, faulty bulb. You know that ding, 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 that kind of noise. You've got lightning, which is pretty cool. So, you know, you're doing a video and you have this and the old flickering TV. And you got pulsing, which just pulses on and off like that. So these kind of things are really cool. So you've also got color. One of the cool things, I'll just stop that. One of the cool things is you've got all these different color sets. So basically here you can turn it on and off. You can adjust the intensity of the color. You can also adjust the color itself. So fully bicolor, which is amazing. That's HSI, it's called. And then you've also got your CTO. So you've got tungsten, daylight, and you can set different values of CTO. So, you know, different white balances, different intensities. It goes really bright, this light too. Like, it's really cool for that sort of thing. So you've also got a source match. So it's matching other lights. So let's just choose the light that I'm using as my key, and I'll click match. Now the key is 5600 Kelvin, and that's matched it perfectly to 5600 Kelvin. So that's a really cool feature if you want to match to other lights. If say you were using this as like a hair light back here, let's say it was back over here, to kind of create a little bit of separation here. I'll just pump up the intensity for that. Yeah, so say it's used to be like a hair light, you can then just match it to whatever lighting you have in the scene, which I think is really cool, an incredible feature. So that is really awesome as well. Then you've got the CCT, which obviously is your Kelvin values. on there as well. And you can add presets as well. So you can save a preset and you can have presets that you run. So if I save this to presets, then I've got CCT, 8.1 intensity and 4300 Kelvin. Then if I want to go back to here and change my intensity, go up to 5600, then I want to save that as a preset. So now I've got my 5600 Kelvin preset, and then just from this click of the button, click OK, I've got my 4300 Kelvin preset. So I can jump between different presets, which is a game changer for this kind of app. So if I have a few different scenes in this room, I can just switch around different presets and, you know, have it do what I want it to do. So the other thing is, I'll show you now a cut to a shot where I said in the beginning is I always want to see use cases for these kind of things and see where they will work in the field. So I'll cut to a shot now where we used it to light this scene. In the beginning, this scene was a little bit too dark and I wanted to push the exposure up of the entire scene. So this was in a music video and the shot was of this drawing of a snake, and it was symbolic and a part of this music video. So the beginning shot you can see here without the MC being used, it just kind of didn't look exposed properly. It looked a little bit dull, similar colors and exposures, but I had to kind of ramp everything up and push the ISO of the camera system, so introducing some grain as well in the shot. And then the second shot you can see where the MC is used right here. Basically now the shot is properly exposed, everything is in focus, you can see a lot less noise and grain in the image, and so this is where this kind of little light really shines through and will basically give you everything you need and more on set. So, you know, having a couple of these on set is going to be enough to, you know, just fix those little bits of lighting and also adjust some of the practical lighting. Maybe in this I want like a practical light motivator just down here or something to kind of motivate from this light, and this isn't providing much light, as you can see. This isn't really casting a whole lot of light. It's really, once you get to about here, it's not really doing much. So having a motivator like this where I can just go to my source match, I'll show you, and retry this and match that source. And so that's saying that's 3300 Kelvin. So basically now having this be a motivating light for that, and I could put this down here. Now this has got a really cool feature where it's got two magnets on the back here. So I can literally just plug this onto there, and you know, if I put that down out of frame, out of my frame, still in my frame a little bit, but just drop it out of frame, then that's just providing a little bit of motivation for this scene behind, you know. So basically if I were to turn that off now, turn the light off, let's go to intensity and just turn it off. So that's with it off, and then I can just turn it on, and that's with it on. So you can see it's just providing that little bit of motivation down below there, just to kind of give that little bit more edge to the scene. And that's where this comes in handy. You know, I could also take it off there and I could put it up in maybe here. So basically up behind me there, and you know, so intensity wise I could just sort of punch it out like that and, you know, light this scene a little bit more. And it really is powerful. Like you see that on the back there, I'm looking at the monitor, but you can see on the back there, it's really like lighting this whole scene and kind of, you know, upping the exposure of the whole scene. And it really is awesome for stuff like that. So I could also just put it in, I think let's grab some stuff here. Yeah, look at that, let's grab some stuff. But I could put it in like here as well. And I could just motivate that, you know, that area there with a little, maybe a little less intensity, but just kind of play on that, motivate, you know, that light as if that light was casting something in there as well. So that's kind of what the app gives you. I could just switch out the Kelvin value there as well to 56, between 56 or 5600. There we go, there's 5600, the higher intensity. So basically, you know, it allows you to kind of do that sort of thing. And I could even give this like a color, you know, maybe I wanted to just use this as a color and have a bit of color in the scene, right? I could basically have a blue, you know, a blue purple kind of in the scene, lower the intensity a bit, and just change up the lighting of my scene. So that's really all I want to say about this little awesome little light. Just got your on-off switch on the actual light itself, and then you've got a little dial, which if you hit the button, you've got a readout here. So you basically now, I'm adjusting hue. So I'm adjusting hue, it's adjusting down to, you know, up to blue and down to green. You can see there that the feature has been disconnected as well. So that disconnects as soon as I start operating this manually. But there's got the hue, and then I can press in on there. Now I've got saturation, so 100% or 0%. And you've got intensity, you know, percentage intensity. Now if you hit it and hold it down, you're going to change the setting. You've got a CCT, HSI, FX, CCT, there we go. So then you've got your Kelvin value, and if you just hit the button in, you've got intensity. So that's kind of all there is to it. Super simple light, lasts for about 3 hours charge time. We were shooting for about 2.5 hours, and it used, it's now sitting on where it was of the shoot. It's still got 3 bars, I think, after using it for a couple of hours. So I think you could probably bank on it lasting for 3 hours, the battery. And it comes with a couple other little accessories in the bag as well. You have this couple of 3M pads to stick it onto different things. You got the charging cable that comes with it, USB to USB-C, USB normal type to USB-C for charging. And then you have this little diffuser, I guess, that goes over the top as well. So you can throw that on there, and basically it can diffuse it. So it can be like a, you know, you could use it as your main key light. Yeah. And maybe if I just do that, maybe if I turn off my main key light here, and I'll show you just before we wrap up what that's like for a main key light. So there's my key light is off, and I'm just gonna punch the intensity on this. There we go. So there you have it, the Aputure MC, highly recommended. I am definitely gonna be using it on different shoots, and I'm really keen to get out there and use it more. And as well, I have something else that I'm gonna show you from Aputure as well coming up. So keep your eyes out for that in the coming days. All right, well, that's all from me, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.